Yeet! The greatest outdoor show on earth. There was wrangling. There was tootin'. There was pootin'. Howdy, y'all. Trudeau even made an appearance. I was seeing bull riding, horse wrangling. Yeehaw! There was carnival rides. There was cowboy shows. I ate some of the most disgusting food I've ever eaten in my life. But the best thing there was the fashion. But if there's one thing about me, you know that I love to dress up. You know there's nothing better than dressing up like our Canadian heritage. And most people got the right idea. Everyone was dressed up in the coolest cowboy gear you could find. Unfortunately for the men can't dress themselves to save their lives, so all the photos are basically of hot women. Men do better. My friends were excited for day drinking and seeing people fall off the backs of horses, but I was excited to see cowboy costumes. You know, I love to draw cowboys. Cowboys is a big thing in my art history. So what I did when I got to that goddamn rodeo is I bought this hat and I scoped out the cool costumes. I was an investigative journalist. I was taking photos left and right of the cool outfits that I saw. And today I'm gonna take some of those cool costumes and turn them into a couple cool characters. So let's get started. So first thing I do is I pull up a photo of the one that started it all. This is one of the first photos I took of a stranger and my friend Monty on the right side, because I didn't want to take a photo of a stranger, so she posed for me, and then I'm giving her extra cowboy boots because she was wearing sneakers and I know she'd love these cowboy boots. So my first sketches are very loose, I know they're gonna be bad, so I'm just like learning. And right here you could see that the shape of the hair and the shape of the puffy sleeve is just too similar, so I go and I try to make something new. And I'm checking out the body proportions underneath. Very much at this stage, I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm just trying to get a good start, a good warm-up, if you will. So this next character, this next girl, she was wearing a really cool outfit, a cow print dress, if you will. So I wanted to really exaggerate these proportions. Like, all the drawings that you see are not quite an accurate representation of the people in the photos. They're just like, I'm really just trying to exaggerate it as much as possible and trying to find a cool character shape, because in the real world there's not as much exaggeration as you can get in, you know, drawings. So I'm trying to push and pull as much as I can. And before you say, oh Jackie, you're taking photos of strangers out here, well, let's just move past that because I already did it, and I also blurred out their faces. So you can't say nothing about that. So at this point in the sketching phase, I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Deanna Marcy-Glees. She's a really cool artist. She's made a lot of really cool character designs for, I think, Inside Out, where she captures really real personalities of characters in all different shapes and sizes. For these characters right here, there was these two girls standing next to each other, and I thought their outfits were really cool, and you could tell that they're friends. So I really wanted to exaggerate as much as I can their this and that together. So I made one really tall and thin and the other one a lot more curvy and short. And I'm trying to push and pull these characters as much as I can to make the most interesting lineup that I could. I'm also putting a ground plane down. You could see the little light blue line at the bottom to try to have them all work in the same world. And by doing that, I choose my tallest character, I choose my shortest character, and I kind of go and I work in between those characters. And I'm also trying to create their head shapes to be all around the same size. These characters right here were really cool. I mean, these girls, I think they were taking a TikTok. It seems like the one on the left is an influencer, and I thought that was cool. Their outfits were cool. I originally wanted to draw the girl in the white dress, and then as I was drawing the girl in the red blazer, I realized that her costume, I keep saying costume, her outfit is so much more fun, and I liked it so much better. So I started sketching it out more because you could have such a fun shape with this really square blazer on top and small little legs sticking out. And I thought the dress on the left would be a little too basic, no offense. For this drawing right here, this is the last drawing that I did, and I think it's my favorite one. I went in with some really cool ideas for proportions. I wanted, you know, top heavy with the jacket, cropped jacket, and then it tapers down to the feet. I couldn't really see the boots, but they look like cowboy boots to me. And it's not an accurate one-to-one representation of all these sketches. I'm kind of taking creative liberties, and right here she has the coolest boot necklace, so I'm trying to capture that as well. For this character, like I said, these were the first roughs, and I was just warming up, so now I feel a lot more confident in my shape language, so I'm just drawing over these drawings of this lady on the left and Monty on the right. And it looks a lot better. Honestly, if a drawing doesn't look good at the beginning, try again. And then I'm kind of fixing up this lineup, changing their heights, also changing the order of characters and flipping them so they all look really cohesive when standing next to each other. And you can see I'm redrawing Monty. And that's basically the sketch phase of this. I think I have a really dynamic and interesting types of characters. They all contrast each other, they all have different body types, and I think they all have really interesting and unique personalities. So next step is color. So I basically just merge all the line sketches together so it's all one layer, and then I start blocking in some color behind. And all of this is also one layer that I'm just coloring and seeing what I can do here. I always start with the main color of their main focus, so this is like the pink jacket or the denim pants, and then I kind of build around that once I have a good foundation. And you know, at this phase it's really loose, I'm not really even working in the lines yet. But now it is time for rendering. My favorite part. This is the part that takes the longest. I'm taking a lot of inspiration from Brittany Myers. I worked with her in the past and she's an incredible artist. She makes such simple characters, but the way they're rendered is really loose and sketchy, but there's so much personality and there's so much texture. That's what I do with all of my rendering typically. So I usually just have one layer on top of all the previous layers that I have, my line and my color, and then I just kind of go ham. I go for it. I'm going right on top, so you know, you still see the sketchiness of the lines underneath, but you can still see the texture. And here I'm flicking back and forth so you can really get an idea of turning on and off that rendered layer. Really makes a big difference. The character on the right in the bandeau top and the denim pants, that was my favorite character when I started just sketching, but as I go on, like you know, it changes. My new favorite character was this character in the cow print dress. I thought that was such a cool design. I liked how her shapes were, you know, and it evolves. And then by the end, I have another favorite character. It always changes and always evolving, and that's the fun of like a project like this. Flicking between just the rendered layer and the previous layer before. This whole thing took about 2 days to do. I think the video footage is like maybe 3 hours long or something. Usually when I do a long line of rendered characters, I do like 3 or 4 characters. This is actually the most amount of characters I did in one sitting. It was pretty intense and I didn't think much of it until I got halfway through the rendering process and I was like, oh geez, I'm gonna lose momentum real fast. So I kind of flick between characters to keep my interest going. So I keep this character on the right with the green top a little unfinished because I'm gonna come back to her later. I'm just doing, this is the trick, you gotta do what interests you or you're gonna get bored and forget what you're doing, right, and not want to continue. So what I did is I just did the fun parts, and then as it was almost finished, I was like, oh, I'm almost done, I could finish this, and then you go and do the boring parts. That's my trick if you're ever looking for a way to motivate yourself. Just do what you like. There's no point in art in doing what you don't like because you're the one who's calling the shots and deciding what to do. I didn't like clean line art, and so I never did it. So I adopted this technique that I now do all the time. And as you see, I'm flicking through the layers again to show you what it looks like before and after. It's always just so fun and satisfying to see that before and after. So actually, here's a fun fact. This pink blazer girl, this was my least favorite design in the sketching phase. I really didn't like it. I thought that her shapes weren't very exciting and it was kind of basic. But as I go through rendering her, she ends up being my favorite one. And it always works that way. Whatever's my first drawing is my least favorite because I haven't warmed up yet. And then by the end, my favorite drawings are like the last ones that I do. And then I always go back and I touch up my very first drawings. And that's like the trick. That's how I get it. That's how I get them all to look nice, is that I make the first ones look nice because they were ugly. And I think that I captured this character's personality so well. Like, she's glitz, she's glam, I really like her face. I'm really trying to keep simplified faces. I'm not trying to make it really cartoony or exaggerated. I even keep the whites of their eyes really small, so it kind of has that puppy dog look where their pupils take like the most amount of the face because I'm really focusing on the body and the shapes, and the face is kind of secondary. So even some of them, I don't even do whites to their eyes. That was a big thing in this piece, these characters. I was like, should I even do whites? Like, you can't really, I don't know. So I did to some of them. This character on the right, this ended up being my favorite character by the end. For all of them. This was my absolutely favorite one. I think all the shapes are so good. Her personality is so cute. The way that she's kind of holding her objects and stuff, and the fringe on her outfit, it's just good. And I know I made her purse and her boots a different color, but don't at me. I told you, this isn't a one-for-one representation of the people I took photos of. It's kind of, you know, inspired by, and I'm exaggerating it to the point that it's a lot more fun for me. It wouldn't be fun to just draw, you know, the people that I see. I gotta put myself in it. I gotta put my own personality into it. And that's what I did. I made these characters really funny, full of life and personality, and I really like it. So this is my second to last character. Actually, that is the last character, so that's about it. Those are all the final characters, and then I'm merging them all together, all the layers, and then I'm liquefying it, kind of pushing and pulling just a little bit to see how much more I can get out of it. And I also made this girl's jacket a little less hot pink so it contrasts against the previous blazer pink girl. And these are all the characters. So let me know what you think. Let me know who's your favorite character. These are all, I think that I did it very successfully. I think that it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I think the characters turned out really fun. Monty is so cute, and I think the colors feel really realistic, but fun and vibrant and bright. So yeah, this was a fun little experiment, and you know, hopefully I'll get back to the rodeo soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for appreciating these cowgirls just as much as I do. And comment down below which one's your favorite, which one you think I captured the essence of the most. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like, because I want that. I want that for me, I want that for you. We all want that. And if you're interested in learning a little bit from me, you could check out my Patreon. I have a bunch of tutorials on all the things that I like to draw, and I can teach you something. And I also have a sick Discord with a little community of artists. So if that interests you, check it out below in the description. Thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll catch you next time. Yeah!